Hi guys, welcome back to another video. You guys know I love cute projects, so this is a beginner friendly lip gloss or lip balm holder, and this time I'm incorporating both crochet and beading techniques. It's very simple. I'm using a cotton strand for this project. For the list of items, you are going to need some pearl beads. Of course, I would leave the size I used in the description box. Of course, you're going to need your lip gloss, some cotton thread, some charm for decoration, as you can see, a 1.5 and 1.0 millimeter hook. To begin, you're going to make a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your finger in a cross-like motion with the help of your thumb grip to secure. Now pull the working yarn through the circle created. So you pull it through just like this, cross and pull, okay? And then we are not going to tighten. If this was a slip knot, we are going to tighten, but since this is a magic ring, we are going to leave the circle, and that's the only difference between a slip knot and a magic ring, okay? So you are going to grab your 1.5 millimeter hook and then grab the working yarn, okay? Hold, just wrap the yarn around to, work your tension accurately, and then pull tight. We are going to chain 1, and now in the circle, in the magic ring created, we're going to put a total of 12 single crochets. Insert, pull through, you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through, or 2 loops, 1 single crochet, insert, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through, or 2 loops, 3 single crochet, this is 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. Now you are going to pull this strand to close the circle. Pull, secure, tight. We are going to weave the yarn later, but let's continue. So you now have the circle. So since we have this round circle, we are going to connect by single crocheting in the very first single crochet you made. It might be at first difficult, but it is just right here. The very first single crochet you made, insert your hook, pull through, okay? You have 2 loops on the hook. It is important to put a stitch marker since we are working, tiny stitches. You need to keep count so that when you get back, you will know exactly where the next row begins. I'm going to snip it right there before I finish up with 2 loops, okay? So this is the very first single crochet we made, beginning the next row, okay? So what you are going to do is that you are going to make just an increase for this second row. So to make an increase, you are going to make an intersection between 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet in the same stitch for the next simultaneously. So we just made our 1 single crochet, which means for the next stitch we are going to make a total of 2 in the same exact stitch. So just move there, 1 and then 2. Nicely done. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the following, 1 and then 2, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the following, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the following, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the following, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the following. If you do not take care, you might miss this stitch, okay? And you should end with 2 single crochet in the same stitch for your information, in case you lose count because of how small the stitches are. So 1 and then 2. Okay, we are back to the very first single crochet we made where the stitch marker is placed. That is why it is important to have your stitch marker placed there. So this is what you are going to have. A nice base. Let's check up something. Okay, very nice. It should be, you know, a little bit bigger than the base, so that, you know, when we are placing it inside, it becomes easier for you. Okay, so which means this is going to be the only increase row 2. We are going to work on regular rows, and then we'll be working with the beads as well. Okay, but since we are done with the beads and we'll be working rows of beads, it is important to do 1 regular row before we work with the beads, because we are going to slide the pearls on the cotton strand. Okay, so let me remove that and make my very first single crochet to connect and place it back. So for row 3, which is the one we are moving on, we are just making regular rows. So this is the first single crochet to begin row 3. Slide back your stitch marker, and then continue with single crochet rows. Okay, a regular row. So since this is the first, we are just going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 2nd, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you should have 18 stitches for this row. Okay, you can see that it's beginning to fold. Don't worry if the circle is loosening. That's the benefit of a magic ring. You are going to pull tight to secure, but we would be making some changes. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to slide some pearl beads on the cotton strand. Let me show you how to do that quickly. So normally you are supposed to slide on this yarn before you work, but since we forgot to do that, don't worry. What I do is that you can take another strand, or you could take the same yarn and slide it on. Okay, so since this is a cotton thread, it will be easier to slide it on and work the stitches nicely. So that is when the smaller hook comes in, the 1.25. You are going to grab your pearl bead, insert the hook. It should be a hook that can fit in this small hole. You just wrap the cotton thread around just like this and just slide it through nicely, and let it allow it to flow. Okay, so what we are doing is that we are going to place a number of pearl beads on this, and then we would work with this strand instead for the rest of the rows. But if we already did the sliding on the cotton thread, you realize that we would be able to work the stitches, and that would be the first thing to do. So just go along. Let me demonstrate it to you again. Just pick a pearl bead, insert your smaller hook, and just pull it through nicely. Let it slide. I'm going to do it for as many as you can, and then I'll show you how to connect the next working yarn, which has the pearl beads on, because we'll be cutting this off so that we work with this. Let me slide it and get back to you. So I finished sliding the beads, the pearl beads, on the new working yarn, and I already snipped off, leaving an inch long for the previous working yarn. And since we are going to work with this new bead and with the yarn where the beads are situated, we need to incorporate the yarn which will be the new working yarn, the one with the bead. So I just snipped off. Go ahead and snip off, leaving an inch. This is the last single crochet for row 3. Right, pick up the new working yarn, the one with the beads, with 2 loops on the hook. Make sure you don't complete the single crochet with 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 2 loops. Okay, and make sure you have both leftover yarns so that you crochet underneath. So you're going to do your very first single crochet for row 4, and then you place a stitch marker there. Nicely done. And then single crochet all around, and that is it. We have incorporated. So just move along and single crochet nicely. So row 4 is also a regular row, except that we incorporated the one with the beads. So we are going to make a very first bead row with the pearl beads. So for this row 5, we are going to make a bead row. So finish up that last single crochet for row 4. Pick your stitch marker off. Instead of single crochet, insert, pull through, pull the loop through the loop on the hook, and that is a slip stitch. We are going to turn to the opposite side. We are going to be working with your beads. Slide your first bead. Make sure it's very close. Okay, now insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 2 loops, single crochet into the next stitch, slide a bead, insert your hook into the next stitch and single crochet, single crochet into the next stitch, slide a bead, the beads are here and I just slide them, single crochet into the next, single crochet to the following stitch, slide a bead very tight, single crochet into the next, to the following as well. Before you slide a bead, single crochet into the next, to the following, slide a bead, to 10, chain 1, single crochet into the same exact space, place your stitch marker there, you are going to place a single crochet in each stitch all around, and you are supposed to maintain 18 stitches. Okay, just like how we increased row 2. should have 18 single crochet stitches all around. If you have more or less, please adjust to make sure you have 18 stitch. So I'm going to add a couple more rows. I'll show you the number of rows on your screen, and then we work on the bead row before we add any other cute details. But this is how it looks. So far. So now you are going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet you made and make a couple more rows of single crochet. I'll show you the number of rows shortly. So I made 4 more rows after completing the very first row demonstration, which will make 5 rows of single crochet in between the bead section. I wanted to measure this. This is 12 centimeters approximately, the whole full lip cloth. However, from the bead where we placed it to the next one will be 2 centimeters. I'm going to incorporate a bead row after every 5 rows of single crochet right after the repetition. So let's do that again. Okay. Make sure you grab your working yarn and single crochet. Okay. Now turn to the opposite side. Whenever you are incorporating the bead, it's important to turn to the opposite side. You grab your first bead, slide it like this, move to the next stitch and single crochet. Make sure the bead is very close so that the loop does not become loose. Okay, move to the next single crochet. Afterwards, you slide your next bead, move to the next single crochet and single crochet, move to the following single crochet. Make sure they are asymmetrical to the previous ones. Okay, they are similar. Okay, so you move, slide the next bead, single crochet over here, and then single crochet into the next stitch, slide a bead, single crochet, and then into the next. So do it all around. I'll show you how mine looks at the end. So this is how the row ends. I normally end with a single crochet over there, and you should have 9 pearl beads as around for the first one, making it asymmetrical. The reason why we are going to have 9 pearl beads is because we're working with 18 single crochet stitches. So therefore, if that happens, you realize that 18 divided by 2 will be 9. So that's why when we single crochet, we just single crochet in the next stitch to be the space between each bead, and that is why you should have 9. Okay, so then our next rows, which is the next 5 rows after this, will be single crochet all around, 18 single crochet all around. As I said, because we worked with the beads, sometimes you could miss stitches, so it is important to count in your head when single crocheting, so that it becomes easier for you to maintain the 18 single crochet stitches. So I'm just going to single crochet, place my first single crochet. Let me just turn to the opposite side, place my first single crochet over here. I'll just chain 1, place my first single crochet, and just place a stitch marker to signify that this is the first single crochet I made for this row, and I'm going to single crochet all around. So this is the first one, so 2, second, 3. So after a couple rows of repetition after the pearl bead, which is 5 rows, you should have something like this. And then we are going to incorporate our next bead row. It is just the same repetition as made previously. Always turn to the opposite side before you slide a bead very close and make your single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that's what I did, always making sure that you have 9 pearl beads for each row, and we are going to do this for a total of 6 rows for the pearl beads. Okay, so the pearl beads should have 6 rows in total. Okay, so this is my total 6 rows, as you can see, making sure that I have 5 regular rows in between each. So this is the very last pearl bead row. This time I'm just going to single crochet all around the edge to clean up the base. So insert your hook when you have 2 loops on the hook and pull through all 2 loops. Single crochet all around till you slip stitch to join, and that is the done deal. Okay, very simple and easy. So with a pair of scissors, we are going to cut off, leaving an inch long, which will be woven in later. But the next step is to work on the top part, the cover base of the lip balm holder. Okay, I'm using another shade of yarn. So as usual, I'm just going to make a magic ring or a magic circle, and then we are going to chain 1, insert 8 single crochets in the magic ring. Okay, the previous one we started with a total of 12 single crochets, but with this we are just going to place 8 single crochets in the magic ring. After completing it, you are going to close up the circle by pulling the strand and securing nicely to work your next row. So afterwards, I'm placing a stitch marker at the last single crochet I made for this very first row. So afterwards, you are going to place 2 single crochet in each stitch to make an increase. So your stitch count should be 16 after the end of the row. We have 15 stitches so far, and we are going to place our last single crochet in the next stitch, making a total of 16 for this row. For the next row, we are going to place a regular single crochet all around. Okay, so just single crochet all around regularly, no increase or decrease, to add up to the depth of the round circle we are making. So this is how it looks like. Okay, that's going to be the topper part of the so just slip stitch into the next space and cut off and weave in the yarn. We need this very cute flat piece for the lip balm. So I'm going to incorporate the pink yarn. Okay, that's the next step, and then I'm going to incorporate the bead. So slip stitch and then chain one and single crochet into every stitch all around, okay, before we work with the beads. It should be 16 single crochet all around for your information. So this is going to be the last single crochet, and then I turn to the opposite side as usual, just as shown from the previous explanation. Just incorporate the bead and single crochet into the next two stitches, and then just slide the bead again, and then just single crochet into the next two stitches, and that is easy. It's the same exact thing as we have been taught from this video. So here we have it. You should have 8 beads incorporated for the opener of the lip balm. Now to add some depth or clean base to the lip balm, you are going to single crochet all around before you cut off and weave in the excess yarns. For the straps, we are going to chain a total of 60. Locate the second chain space from the hook and single crochet. Now single crochet all the way down. Now there you have it, your straps is completed. You're going to cut an inch long and weave in the yarn together with the main part of the work. So what I do is that I pull the first strap all through the topper part and the other strap as well as seen, so that you have it hanging on top of the work. So afterwards we are going to connect the lower part of the strap to the main work by using a darning needle, or you could use your hook to weave in back and forth. I got this charm from thrifting and I love it because of how simple it is. So I'm just going to add the charm with my tools to just make sure it's closed and secured, and that is it. Very simple. Please don't forget to tag me in your recreations, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.